Laura Loomer was running for a GOP primary, in a GOP primary for a, GOP nomination for Congress. And so she's running against an incumbent Republican who's currently in Congress, and she was trying to unseat him. Now, she lost in the primary that just happened, but said what we've heard many Republicans now say after President Trump, or former President Trump, started this pattern, which is, I'm not conceding. Nope, I'm not conceding. Now, in this clip, she doesn't make claims about the election being stolen, but I'm sure that's justification. And that's what we've heard so many of these individuals start to do, which is, listen, if we win, we're awesome. If we lose, we're awesome. And we also still won somehow. And so she's saying that she will not concede to the person she lost to. Let's take a look.
I'm not conceding because I'm a winner, and the reality is our Republican Party is broken to its core.
What we have done tonight has really honestly shocked the nation. We have further exposed the corruption within our own feckless, cowardly Republican Party. And that is exactly the reason why, right, I decided to run against a rhino Republican, Daniel Webster. Do nothing, Daniel Webster. Yeah.
Even that last part, it's amazing how one guy who had no experience in politics, who was just some billionaire dude who wanted to be president or wanted the publicity boost from being president, how much that one person so massively changed the style in which Republicans portrayed themselves. And that's the most surface level. And that last statement she made, which was kind of a name call, do nothing, whoever the guy's name was, is exactly in the Trump style of everyone has a funny little childish nickname, and you call them by it, and you call people names, and you kind of make fun of people on a personal level, how they look. That's such a Trumpian thing. That would be seen as unprofessional previously in politics. But Trump made that the thing of MAGA Republicans, which that's not the most outrageous thing. I don't really care. Call people names. Who cares? I care more about what you would do when you get in power and your policies, which in the case of Laura Loomer are horrible. But then more importantly, what she's doing is following in Trump's footsteps of the anti-democratic nature of the way they run these campaigns, which is to say, if I lose, I won't concede. If I lose, I didn't actually lose. It was stolen. For some reason, it was stolen. I'll get you the evidence later. Wink, wink. And so this is scary because the thing that holds our democracy together, as I'll say a million times, I know I sound like a broken clock now, is this agreement among all parties involved that if they lose, they'll concede. If they lose, they'll respect the orderly transition of power. And while there's been some cases of people standing against, none as profound as Trump's actions in 2020. And he, as I've said before, laid out the playbook for what it looks like to deny election results whenever you don't want to step down from power even though you've lost, because he lost. And the way that you do so is to claim fraud, is to say I won't concede, is to say it was stolen, and then you rile your base up and get them to support you. And now you have a nice, big, angry, violent mob ready to defend you whenever you want to stay in power. Now, it didn't rise to the escalation of that violent mob succeeding, right? And it won't in this case either. But at some point, it will get there. At some point, they will be successful if they keep trying. It's just statistics. It's just probability. If there's some percentage every time that someone who tries to deny election results and tries to stay in power will succeed, then the more times that it happens, the more likely it is to succeed. And that is what I talk about day after day with the deterioration of our democratic process. When you have a pretty sizable portion of our country okay with leaders and supportive of leaders and more supportive of leaders who will deny election results if they don't go in that person's favor, that is the beginning or even the middle of a democracy dying. Now, I don't think ours would die. Yeah, I don't think ours will die because we have gone through some crazy stuff as a country, some huge obstacles and gotten through them. And I do think we will get through this. And the sentiment in the country, I think, is with us, even though there is a pretty loud and powerful minority that believes these things. But it's a tough time to be in because this is threatening our democracy more than it has been in a really long time. And that's super scary. And it could lead to really bad outcomes if people like Laura Loomer continue to become more popular, continue to become more common within their party, and people like Trump as well. Very, very bad.